Ambipure Ka is here. Car में सबसे toughest बदबू को मिटाने के लिए. But will Ambipure Ka work against trash?
Romantic aroma.
Are you listening?
Is it happening?
Ambipure Ka बदबू को सिर्फ cover नहीं करता, मिटाता है.
Romantic aroma.
Are you listening?
Is it happening?
Ambipure Ka बदबू को सिर्फ cover नहीं करता, मिटाता है.
Hey guys, hello. But namaskara. That's Lakshmi, my executive producer, and she's hiding in the scene. Anyway, one nimsha nanu questions nodbeku andre idಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು. I'll just log into that. Okay, so ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಚಾಟ್ ವಿಂಡೋಲಿ ಟೈಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಯಾವುದು ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾವುದು ಸ್ಪಾಯ್ಲರ್ಸ್ ಏನೂ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಅದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು. ತುಂಬ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ನಾನು ಈಗ ತಾನೇ ಒಂದಿಷ್ಟು ಶೋಸ್ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಬಂದೆ. ಡಾಲ್ಬಿ ಆಟ್ಮಾಸ್ ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕೇಳುತ್ತೆ, ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಆಟ್ಮಾಸ್ ಇದೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಅದನ್ನು ನೋಡಿ. And okay, so first question, why is the film not released in Hyderabad? Alli namage screens yadu siglilla because we had Brahmotsavam. Maybe next week ashtottige ondishtu screen sikkidre we will be releasing it in Hyderabad by next time. And okay, too many questions. When will I act in Tamil films? Acting ella sadhya illa ansutte, but I may be able to direct some. Nodna, nothing's planned yet. Illa enadru ಕನ್ನಡದು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಷ್ಟೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಇನ್ನು ಆದರೆ ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ, ಬಟ್ ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಸಿ. Sameer, let's say you had an unlimited time frame, how would you explain the 10 other deaths mentioned in the plot? ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ನೆವರ್ ಬರ್ದಿಲ್ಲ ಆ 10 deaths ಹೇಗೆ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಏನಾದರೂ ನಾನು ಈ 22 episodes ಥರ ಇಫ್ ಐ ಡನ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಲೈಕ್ Game of Thrones or Breaking Bad, ಆ ಥರ ಏನಾದರೂ ಸೀಸನ್ ವೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಿದ್ರೆ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಎಪಿಸೋಡ್ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಡೆತ್ ಥರ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಿತ್ತೇನೋ. ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ಶ್ಯೂರ್, ಬಟ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ that's I would have written it then. Why did you choose an easy option, Supernatural, for climax? Okay, this is a spoiler alert. If you have not seen the film, don't listen to this answer. Mute. Okay, and I'll tell you when to unmute, because this is a spoiler alert. Okay, so for those, I think maybe I should keep. Hey, can you just give me a spoiler alert written in a paper so I'll hold it so that they should not. So it's not an easy option. First of all, when I wrote the film, I wanted it to be written as, you do something like this and someone can scare you. So that was in my head. So it was not an easy option at all. In fact, I really am fond of the way the film is completing. It is ತುಂಬಾ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಫಿಲ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಸೆಡ್ ವೈ ದ ಫಿಲ್ಮ್ ಇಸ್ ಎಂಡಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ವೇ. ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಇಸ್ ಹೌ ಯು ಆರ್ ಲುಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಟ್ ಇಟ್. ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಸ್ಕಿಂಗ್ why did he end it like this, ಇನ್ನೂ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಿತ್ತು ಆ ಥರ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋ ಬದಲು, ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಸಮ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಟು ಥಿಂಕ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ದ ಎಂಡ್ ಟ್ರೈಂಗ್ ಟು ಸೇ, then maybe you may like the end. Why did you? Lucia part 2 is coming. There is a story ready. I don't know when I'll make it, but let's see. Logic behind the death of those people. Logic, well, they're being punished for that little mistake that they're doing. It's not a little mistake, actually. They're being punished, so that's why they're dying. Why did you give this movie a ghost touch? I don't know. I wanted to. I wanted right from the. So every time there's a question, I'll hold this, which means don't listen to it. So spoiler alert, Andre, you're listening to a part of the film which you nodilla andre, you should not even be listening to it. Okay, so that's what this means. So when is Nicotine coming? If if U Turn does well and we get good funds from this film, then definitely Nicotin probably will be the next film that we'll be making. C10H14N2, which we had announced long back. Awesome movie. Thank you for taking Kannada. Could have been better. Thank you, Prashant. I feel I'm very happy with the way it was after a lot of thought and confusion, but it's a film and I'm glad the way it's made. Okay, too many questions, so I'll have to go a bit slow. Purnachandra did, yeah, Purnachandra did a great job on the film. There was a lot of trial and error. Tumba avella aitu. ಏನಂತೀರಾ, it was. I mean, we both were not sure what sort of music we had to give. For the longest time, we thought, let's not give it any music. Let's try and work only with effects, and then slowly use music wherever it's necessary. But then Purna did one round, started liking it, then he did another round of it. So I think somewhere about 2.5 months of delay in releasing the film happened because we were constantly trying to better the music. And thanks to Purna, who also came up with the amazing opening Karma song. It was not my idea. I didn't even think about putting anything up there. I just thought traffic sounds will be there. But then Purna insisted, composed, in the last minute gave me that track, and today everybody is talking about it. So that credit goes to Purna. Theater problem, 7 theaters in Mandya, why the film is not releasing. Okay, Mandya, I think very soon next week, we want to come in a good theater, and my distributor says he should release this film only in that theater. So yeah, next Friday, I think we will be able to get few shows in Mandya. Don't you think you revealed the mystery only? Do you have any plans of making movies of different genres in the future? Do I have any plans of making, this is Arun HP asking if I'll make movies of any different genre. I would like to make a comedy and a drama, but I have not written anything in that genre as a completed script yet. So yeah, let's see, maybe if something good happens, maybe it will. If I like but I thought Climax was a bit unrealistic. Okay, who is the inspiration of U Turn movie? The inspiration for U Turn movie is the double road flyover. There's nothing else. I wanted to do something about that flyover. I thankfully didn't talk about it as a Facebook status, and I'm glad I made it as a movie. How does the lock of the jail open? How does the lock of the jail open? I think everybody who says the film, okay, this is again spoiler alert. Okay, so everyone who thinks that the genre from thriller to mystery suddenly shifted to horror and supernatural, please know that right from the beginning there were hints constantly given that there was something happening on that zone. So there were many hints given to you to be prepared for another dimension to sort of play into the film. So hence the lock opening, the weird use showing up, and all that. ಕಾರ್ತಿಕ್ ಮೋಹನ್, ಪವನ್ ಸರ್, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಈ ತರ ಅದ್ಭುತವಾದ ಚಿತ್ರ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ಸ್ಫೂರ್ತಿ? ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಆ ತರ ಐಡಿಯಾಸ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಏನ್ ಹೇಳೋದು, ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಕಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ಅನಿಸಿದಾಗ ಆ ಥರದ್ದು ಏನೋ ಬರಿತೀನಿ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಹಂಗಾಗಿ ಆ ತರ ಫಿಲ್ಮ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಮಂಡ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಫಿಲ್ಮ್ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. How will there be any difference in the rest? That's our answer. It takes 14 lives and ends up. Abhilash Kashyap, XYZ in the story. Okay, spoiler alert. XYZ, please mute if you have not seen the film. Please mute right now. So XYZ in the story takes up 14 lives and ends up sparing the real culprit. Your views on that? I feel all of them were culprits in this world of U-Turn, that film that you're watching. That little act is a big crime, the way I've tried to talk about it. So hence they're all culprits. Sparing the real culprit, I think that's something that you have to think about. Was the real culprit spared? Think a little more and maybe you'll understand what I was trying to say at the end. Sir, when is it releasing in Australia? Hope to see you there. I would love to come to Australia. I have a passport. I don't have a ticket and a visa. And it may come to Australia in a week or two. So keep following. Am I happy with the number of screens I've got in Karnataka? Well, I'm okay with it. Am I sad? I'm not, but I'm okay with it. Sorry, this I forgot. So I'm okay with. I mean, it will improve if audience come in good number. Then I think the screens will increase. That's what happened with good films. Rangitaranga had more screens. Titi had more shows. So all that matters is if you people come and watch it in theater, it will keep improving. So it's okay. Genres I've answered. Yes, I'll try to make films in other genres. I'm keen on making it. Which is the most challenging clip to make? In the film, for me, the most challenging was now everything looks equally good, equally easy, or equally difficult. Which one was most challenging? I don't know. I think the accident. I would have. We shot it in one shot. Some of the rain sequences, the accident, and one or two scenes, I feel if I had more time, I would have worked on a few more shots. So yeah. When will you direct Seat and H14 into? I've answered that in this video. Go back and watch it. Was it a conscious decision to make it less dramatic appearance in the key characters? Yeah, NB Upadhyay, was it a conscious decision to make it less dramatic appearance of the key characters? I wanted to play it very subtle in this film. So every time there was a sequence, we tried to play it realistic. I didn't want the characters to be over dramatic, and we wanted to play these characters as, you know, who are not very loud in their expressions. So, you know, so that it builds slowly. So yeah, some of the sequences where now when I look at it, if I had the opportunity, I would take it by 2% more, but yeah, conscious decision to make it a very subtle approach to the whole thing. What are the upcoming movies? I don't know. I have few scripts. Depending on the results of U-Turn, I don't know what I'll be picking up. So let's see. Hey, do you have plans to make movies of different genres? Oh yes, everybody is asking about it. Talash movie. No, I don't. Syed Akbar. Were you inspired by Talash movie while writing U-Turn story? I usually have a very mean answer for it. Like, but I won't say that. So yeah, let's leave it at that. Why no good serials in Canada unlike Game of Thrones? Game of Thrones and stuff like that is really difficult to write. I think it requires a lot of talent in writing, but I would love to try. I'm in sort of talks with someone to see if we can make series like that. If possible, let's do something good, but it's not easy to write 22 hours of 21 hours of content, which is so engaging. I at least don't know if I'll be able to do. Do I believe in ghosts? When I first wrote the film, I was toying on the idea of making guilt the ghost. I wanted to work on the fact that it is the guilt. Maybe let's put spoiler alert on this. So if you haven't seen the film, don't listen to the rest of it. Mute it till the paper goes down. So yeah, I thought let's give it more surreal approach, and let's make the guilt, is what is making people do it. The guilt of having moved the blog uh, consumes them so strongly that they kill themselves. Yeah, so wanted to try a genre where it's a little on these terms. It was a very conscious decision. I was not trying to make a very realistic film with all the scientific reasoning to it. So that way, um, um, yeah, I did think about it. We discussed on many drafts whether we can use guilt as a metaphor to the death. Maybe it still works. What if I don't know if it still works as strongly, but yeah, we tried, but somewhere it became very complex, very confusing. And at one point, I figured that if I'm making this film, I want something to be taken from it. And if I make it very complex, then there'll be a very niche audience which will be watching it, and the purpose is lost, right? So after viewing this film, I would really like it if the audience, or if the audience move on to becoming more sensible on streets. I mean, that's like something I really wanted to do at this time. So kept the narrative simple, stuck to basics, stuck to creating a thrilling experience, a little bit of mystery, and also giving you that fear. I mean, at least tried to give you that fear through characters, and having the supernatural element sort of made all this work. So yeah, for me, more I wanted an end result in this film, which is that you become more aware of what is happening on that flyover, and people actually stop doing it, and there's a permanent fix to it. And how do I say all these things in an engaging film? So it doesn't matter whether I believe in ghosts or not, but this is the history behind how this whole genre was worked on. When is Sambo? Thank you for taking. Okay, guys, I think at this point, which is 17 minutes into the talk, I have answered about the climax way too many times. So I'll be skipping all the questions which are to do with the climax. And if you have anything to talk about, or just go back into the video and watch it, some 2 times I've answered about the climax. So it's there. Thank you for taking cards. When are you making films with star heroes? And I have a good script which has characters which established stars, established actors can play well, then I think I'll approach them to do it. So let's see. Or, I mean, yeah. Firstly, how you get interested in the project? I mean, what plot of story made you decide to make a movie on the subject? Imtiaz Ahmed, I think I got interested in this project because it was kind of playing on my mind about the flyover and stuff that was happening, the Bangalore traffic, chaos, people not following, there is an yellow light, people skipping signals. So for me, it was becoming extremely irritating. So I wanted to address this so that angst within me was so strong. And I think that was the reason why I started writing this film. Yeah, and creatively picked that plot. Why jump somewhere? Okay, I'm just looking for the last question. Whoa, whoa. So many. Sorry, skipped for project. Yeah. Hey, do you have plans of making movies of different genres? I've answered. When you prepared the first draft of the movie, had you planned? Yeah, Surag Sagar question. When you prepared the first draft of the movie, had you planned a different way of storytelling? Was it a conscious effort to keep the narrative very simple to make it commercially viable? I did want to keep the story very linear this time because in Lucia, I had already tried a lot of non-linear stuff. So in this one, I wanted to go a bit linear, because I think writing a linear film is a lot more difficult. trying to tell a film linear and simple is actually more difficult than saying it in a non-linear fashion. So I wanted to take up that challenge. And because the topic is of the kind which I wanted many people to see, it was not really a commercially viable decision. It was more of how many more audience can I reach out to who will watch this film and who will try to get something out of it. That was my approach. So hence linearity, simplicity, and still effective and engaging. Like there was a lot of people telling me that Lucia worked because it was so confusing, so people had to see it many times. So it kind of felt that people were finding reasons to just say why it worked. So in this one, I wanted to challenge myself and say that it's a linear concept, and I'll still keep the audience engaged in the film. So that is why I wanted to write it in a linear format. When it is releasing in Chennai, it is already released in Chennai, and there are houseful shows happening. Today, it's a sold out. So shows are being added from tomorrow. That's what I've been told. So it's released in Chennai. It's released all over in major cities in India. Monday Adali film, I've answered. Certain events says climax would have been better. Your reaction, I think I've spoken about the climax. Please go back and listen. Certain review in the internet says climax would have been better. Attempt Marco Sinali, Chaku, Rachana, Hege, Sigate, Madhusudan N. Rachana, you said Marco attempt, Tali, Aul Kaige, Chaku, Hek Sigate. Nive yochne Madi, Allala answers is that. Question, was it intentional that the news article was shown only for a couple of seconds? No, Vijit Venkatesh, it was there for enough duration for you to watch or read what was important, the headline and who, and just 2-3 info. It's the far end of the film. For me, the face of that guy, of Ritesh, and that headline is all that mattered, and that's what the audience will see. So that is why it was good enough length, and it's the end of the film. People want to go to the loo. So. Yeah, plans of making how does the lock of the zero open? I've answered. Have you got to make a movie without songs? Manju LMG. How do you get confidence to make a movie without songs? It was very difficult. We are used to believe that songs are required and stuff. So, what do you call? But this movie didn't need it because the story is happening in just about 4 nights roughly. So there was no time for a song, because a song is about trying to underline or try to express a relationship or events, So this movie was more about what was happening and what's happening next. So it didn't require any song to be there. Australia, if it's releasing, let's see. Sachin Tiptur, how to be part of your crowdfunding producer for your films. Keep following Facebook. If we ever do that again, you will know. Okay. Yeah, do you have plans for making movies in different genres? Yes, we will try those. In the movie, the day after Rachana cuts herself, there's a shot of the lady in the background in IX. So is that something to the plot? Samir, okay, Samir. In the movie, there's a shot of a lady working in Nayak's house. Okay, it was a little extended scene. That was Nayak's mother, and we had about 2 scenes with her. We had shot it, but when we were editing it, we felt that it was not required because it was taking it away from the plot. So we removed it, but we could not remove that one shot where she's working in the background. So it's just there. But yeah, that's why it's a little suddenly, oddly there. Was there an alternative ending in the mind to the U-Turn movie? The alternative ending was that he dies. For the longest time, we thought. So this is a complete spoiler alert. So don't listen if you haven't seen the film. Yeah, so there was the alternate ending, which was that maybe he will die. But then through discussions, in fact, I should thank Pallavi MD, who was auditioned to play the mother, Radhika Chetan's role. And so in one of her discussions, her question was that, why should he die? And I think her question led me to kind of work on the fact that he shouldn't die. So it was kind of rewritten towards the last draft about that one. We will very soon release the background score on YouTube. Purna has been working on it, and hopefully it should come in sometime. U-Turn will release in Hyderabad very soon, maybe from Monday onwards. Deepak S, how do you justify the actual culprit, her husband, left alive? Yes, others too are culprits. I think one last time, please ask yourself, why was he left alive? And the answer is right there. So just try to think of answers and you'll be able to appreciate the end in a better way. Hope plus Srinath. Who do you take the first draft to? How many people discuss before the final version is on the? I keep showing my draft to as many people, and my family, my friends, some of my mentors. I keep sharing the story with all of them and try to see what they say. And the final version is like keeps happening throughout. It's for many. It keeps happening for many days until the shoot. And yeah, but I do give out my script to be read by many people. How's the early response in Karnataka? It's NB Upadhyaya. It's doing very good. We've got extremely good opening for the kind of film it is and the kind of theater it is. And right now, there are a lot of theaters having houseful, so it's good. How long, A&D movies, how long did you write the script? It took me about 2 to 3 days to come out with the first draft, but then it was a 1-hour script at that point, and it was only after a month that the entire feature script came out, but the very basic plot of the film and the 1-hour script happened very quickly. In the last 20-25 minutes, movie looked a little messy and the rating would have been better. All the best. The script was a little at the end. Any news? Any questions related to the climax of the film? I've answered, so I'm not answering again. Venkatesh Nagarajan, yeah. Venkatesh Nagarajan, I love your way of understanding things, and I have a question. How do you make much complicated things into simple things in your film? Oof, okay. I think I'm trying to always trying to look at the film from as an audience. I'm trying to see if it is being communicated to me, if I have understood it, if I am seeing what is written on screen, am I convinced of what is happening? I think that's the approach I take when I'm writing, and hence maybe I've achieved this sometimes where some complex things are told in a simple way so that I can understand and hence you also understand. Don't you think the movie is more like totally subject oriented and not commercial? And why Roger Narayan? Okay, so Roger Narayan was had sent me his pictures, had met me once, and we were trying to work on a very subtle relationship between the character Nayak and Rachana. We were trying to have Nayak as a little older, 33, 34, 35-ish character who's unmarried and who's trying. There was few sequences where the mother tells him he should get married and stuff, and he's got a little soft corner towards Rachana. So that's how the script was, and that's what we were trying to do. and hence Roger Narayan, who was very apt for that role, where he looked like he needed. I mean, very very subconsciously, we wanted the audience to think that maybe he likes her, and that's why he's doing all the things he's doing for her. Camera work looking good. Shivu, Rupa. I have to thank Advaita and of course Satya Hegde with very very constrained, minimalistic stuff that we gave them. They were able to really pull it off pretty well. So thanks to them, and of course the DI department, which was Unify Media in Bangalore, and I think they did a great job in putting everything together and giving that very international look to the film. Roger, okay, Shashank Ramesh, did Roger Narayan brush up on his Kannada once he came here? Roger was pretty good with it. He's just got a little bit of accent, but otherwise he was quite good in the way he was able to adapt to the lines. Ajay NV, maybe a little bit of a spoiler alert. Again, mute if you don't want to be, your movie experience should not be spoiled, then please mute. The 10 deaths were not explained because they were not required, because the film was not about the 10 deaths. It was more about the double road flyover and stuff. So I didn't think it was required to explain how those things happen. Which will this movie dubbed in another language? Niranjan H. In all your previous films, you'll create a character for yourself, but why you not created a character for U Turn? Is Achyut Rao acted in the film? Okay, so we have credited Achyut Rao, Achyut Kumar in the film, in the thanking card, because we had shot a sequence with Achyut, just one scene, and it was completely shot. He plays Rachna's mentor at Indian Express. So he's the one who's motivating her to do this article, which she's so strongly pursuing. But after we shot and we edited, we felt that that sequence was not needed. So that is why we removed it. But we have to thank him because he did come for just one scene out of his love for my work. And so yeah, Achyut was there, but not in the final trip. So mentioned in the movie based on real events, is it true? Yes, the real events are the ones which come at the end credits. So those are the real events, and that is why we called it based on real events. In all your previous films, you created events. It is always, do I see plot holes? Do you think this is NB Upadhyay? Do you see plot holes? And do you think if yes, you could have covered it with more time? See, there's never a perfect script for a guy who's making a film. It is always constantly changing. We may think that we've got the perfect script, but after you see it after 6 months, 1 year, it looks bad. So there's never the perfect script. You have to get on to making the film as long as you're convinced that everything is in place, and then just start doing it. This question is very interesting. Mithun Hegde. Why does Shraddha break down in the police station, though her character is somewhat strong and brave enough to do things even after so many things? We may appear very brave and strong in the kind of work we are doing, but it is very scary. If I'm taken to a police station in question, we will start shivering. So it is just because she's strong with her mother, with her friend, and the way she talks to her boyfriend, it doesn't mean that she's the same in other parts of her life. She is pretty strong when she talks to them in the beginning, but as soon as you're, called as a suspect, and as soon as you see a picture where a person is hanging from the fan, and you know the fact that you went to that house, of course it's the law, so you will be scared of it. So. Karthik Mohan, ಒಂದು ಕೋರಿಕೆ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ತಾವು ಇನ್ನೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಸಿನಿಮಾವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಅದೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಕೂಡ. ಸೊ ಬಟ್ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ರೆಡಿಯಾಗಿ ನನಗೆ ಕನ್ವಿನ್ಸ್ ಆಗೋ ಥರ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಪ್ಲೇ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ನಾನು ತುಂಬ ಟೈಮ್ ತೊಗೊತೀನಿ. ಹೋಪ್ಫುಲಿ ಮುಂದಿನ ಚಿತ್ರಕ್ಕೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಟೈಮ್ ತೊಗೊಳ್ದೆ ಬೇಗ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಅಂತ. ಪ್ರಮಥ್ ಜೋಶಿ, ಹೌ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಡಿಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಟೇಕ್? How long did it take? No, yeah, thank you. How long did it take you to complete the film? So we shot in about 28, 29 days. That's in that one stretch almost. And that's how this film got made. Mithun Hegde. So I understand Roger says that he's not supposed to keep the woman in the station, but all that. I think somewhere he knows the rules, so he wants to take her um, to the holding room. But because he's also trying to help her, and he's also trying to, um, try to get her out of the mess before Krishna, the senior cop played by Krishna, comes into the police station next day morning. So he wants to try to do that for her because, like I said, he might have liked her and he's going out of his way to help her out. Surag Sagar, yes, the shot at the interval is a drone shot by my assistant Arvind Kashyap, and they do drone and aerial photography, so they shot that sequence. Refused to answer. If you like to remake, who was your inspiration? What kind of cameras were used for the film? Same as Lucia. This is Vinayas Dupa. We used Red Dragon for most of the sequences, but we also had some difficult locations like flyover day sequences where we have used 5D. We've also used the Sony AX7. Yeah, we've used that in a couple of shots. Behind in, you were expecting twists, and I think we were giving out twists in the film. Not sure. For some people, yeah, they might start guessing it. Yeah. If you like to remake the film, which would be, tell us about the continuation of the police station. It was awesome. Mahesh Babu. So yeah, there was the whole police station was a set. It was designed and erected by Ravi and Badal. So both of them worked pretty hard. Badal actually got the color scheme working, and I think it's very good the way it looks right now, that color. And some of his ideas of adding the kind of properties worked. So we had a complete police station set built, and we made it quite kind of an upgraded police station. And so the single shot was to build the pace, and because we had control on the location, we could do it. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So yeah, it was a single long take going through many rooms creates that idea of something going very fast. So that's why it was there. Dr. Rachana cuts herself, I think. Other language movies, you said. Have you ever moved this? Abhilash Kashyap, no, I've never moved the stones on the double road flyover. But while shooting the film, we did for the shots, but never in real life. Naresh, the giving away scene where the ghost says, "I've come to kill the person who is in the house." Nicely written. How do you come up? It's, I think, very impulsive, very instinct-based dialogues. It has just worked. Whenever I hear it, I also feel kind of happy that it turned out to be kind of nice and surreal. Do you believe in ghosts? Do you think the movie would be of the widow? Um, Sanket Patil, what was the point of the long? Let's hold this. Yeah, so don't listen to this answer if you haven't seen the film. What was the point of the long, confusing sequence of framing the boyfriend of Rachana? It was just a coincident thing that I wanted to happen where it's interesting because the audience are always guessing that it is always Dilip who's done it. And I think, yeah, so I think it was not confusing. If it was a little, maybe it just kept you engaged on first because most of you are thinking that it is him. So I wanted to make the film in such a way that I make you feel like you knew the film, and then take it into another direction. Yes, there is a small shot where there is my voice. It is very funny. I don't think people will be able to recognize it, but there is one sequence, and yeah, try it when you watch it again. Try to find it. Which was a promotional track? Was it Surak Sagar? No, the promotional track of the movie which Smokey did is yet to be released. Maybe on Monday or Tuesday we'll release it. And it's very interesting. You might have heard a bit of the track on U Turn, on U Turn trailer. It is called as Go Take That U Turn. So we are yet to release that officially. Okay, so I guess I have answered most of the questions, have I? Okay, no, there are more. If you like to make, what was the effect just before the person? ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡಿ ಸರ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ತುಂಬ ಜನ ಈ ಫಿಲ್ಮ್ನ ಔಟ್ಸೈಡ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕನೂ ಕೂಡ ನೋಡ್ತಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಸಬ್ ಟೈಟಲ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗದೇ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಲೈವ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾನು ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷಲ್ಲಿದ್ರೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷಲ್ಲಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿದ್ರೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. Pramath Joshi, how does your film sound in Dolby Atmos? Lot of effects. See, Dolby Atmos regular 5.1 only difference in Andhra Atmos will have speakers on the top, and the design of the sound is quite different. In this film, there is a lot of rain and thunder and a lot of traffic sounds. A lot of ambient sound design has been done. So we chose to do it on Atmos because the rain sounds are on the top. So you will, when you're in the shot is of the rain, you will feel like there is rain coming, that sound is there from the top and not just from the side. So Atmos experience is interesting. I just saw some parts of it here in Bangalore. In PVR at Kormangla, there is an Atmos screening at 4:30, and in PVR Orion, there is an Atmos screening at 10 p.m. this week. I did some comedy scenes like Nagitra and you. Shivayogi Malli. This film doesn't have any deliberate comedy sequences because I just felt it. I didn't need to. The film was very serious on its in the direction it was going, and I just felt it had to be. It had to just go. There are some very light moments in a few dialogues. It has worked for some people. I've heard some people, but like I said, why should a film deliberately have a comedy track? So please take a list. ಇಮ್ತಿಯಾಜ್ ಅಹಮದ್, ನಾವು ಥಿಯೇಟರ್ನ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡೋ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಬೈ ಎನಿ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ಸ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸಸ್ಗೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಜನ ಈ ವಾರ ಬಂದು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟರ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದಿಷ್ಟು ಥಿಯೇಟರ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Since you're through with U Turn, would you like to take dubbing as next project? I think we have spoken enough about dubbing. There's so much of gray areas in it. Maybe that should be on another discussion. Right now, let's talk about U Turn. So. There's so many questions which are talking mostly about the end of the film, and I think I've answered it many times. And also, there are many people who have not watched it. We're just on the second day, so maybe we should talk less about the climax so that people can watch and come back. Will Pawan Pakkadali continue? The view counts are pretty low. The amount of time that goes into shooting it and sorry, we haven't slept much. I've been so a bit sleepy. Pawan Pakkadali, I liked doing it. I liked interacting with new people. We thought we'll do it on an every week basis. But the amount of effort that went into making it and the number of people who were watching it was very less. So we didn't have the time to sustain that kind of energy to do it. So let's see if I find someone interesting and Pakkadali, then we will talk. Naresh, I have told the scene with Achyut, it was very good. It was a single take of 3 minutes, like how it was with Sudha Belwadi in the first sequence. And but we had to remove it because it was slowing down the film, and it kind of felt that the film could do without it. Hence, it was removed. Sharath KP, what's the box office collection? On the first day of the release, it was definitely a lot, what they call as above average. So it's not like the greatest, biggest turnout, but it's good because for a film like this, even that was not expected. So it's doing pretty well. Today, it is doing extremely, extremely well. We have a lot of people have turned up to the theater. But don't waste time on it. Please release the film in Australia. Eager to watch. Okay, so we just have about 10 more minutes to finish this. 6 to 7 was my live session. And then I have to go sleep. I think I'm very sleepy. What happened? So when is Nicotine starting? Anurag, I'm trying to do Nicotine probably after U Turn finishes its theatrical run and based on how much funds we have. Let's see. It's all right now very open. I'm again too many questions about the end, just avoiding it. Boston and US release, a lot of plans are being done. If you go to my Facebook.com and if you find Ravi Kashyap, who's our distributor, maybe you could start messaging him. You could also check our website, which has the info about the release. We'll keep updating it, or follow me on Facebook or Ravi Kashyap. All the international releases, that information is updated on that page. Sachin, tip 2. I think I answered many of your questions. Editing could have been better in the last 20 to 25 minutes. Well, as a viewer, you might feel it. When we were doing it, we felt it was fine. Maybe 1 year later, I will understand what you're saying. Or maybe 1 year later, you will understand what I'm saying. It's a very organic process. When we locked the film, we felt that it was perfect. I haven't watched it yet. I had to mute when spoiler came up. Should I continue to watch the Q&A? Raj, I think I will not be answering any more spoiler-related questions, so you can continue to watch. Good shows, still not funny. Convinced with the Shraddha. Shraddha was, we are very happy with Shraddha. She brought in that she was kind of doing a feature film for the first time, where she's playing the lead. So there was that, she was scared, and she was in real. She was so lost sometimes, and I think all that added to the character. So when they auditioned her, I could see that those things were there, where she was unsure whether she was doing the right things, and I think that's what the character was also like, and her natural self was spilling into what the character wanted. Sandeep, but why did you feel it was necessary to hold a Q&A session just after one day of release? There were a lot of questions coming to us, and I like interacting with my audience. So I think it's good if this Q&A can help more people come to the theater. That's great. Smita NG, you should not have heard this Q&A if you hadn't seen the film. You should shut this down right now and go back to doing your CG work. Okay, so let's end it. I think a lot of questions about the end is here. Just reading questions. I'm trying to avoid stuff. Some of the questions are asked because I think you guys are not thinking. You're not thinking about the why yourself. You should just try and ask why is this being shown? What could be the reason? And the answers are right there. So don't try to ask somebody and don't immediately jump to a conclusion that it was a mistake. There are mistakes, but they're very small mistakes. But in the story, we have taken utmost care to make sure that the narrative doesn't have any. So if there is something on the screen, then it has a reason. It has something backing it up. So if you have a question, just keep thinking. Try to think about it from my perspective and see if it is there, and if there is a reason for it to be there, then what is it? And maybe it would help. Okay, I think the questions are now getting repeated, and like many people are saying, let more people see it, and let's not talk more about the end and the climax. So I'm going to sign off 8 minutes sooner, and see you all. Thank you. Please let people know about the film and share about the screening, the details, which I keep sharing on Facebook and on our website, and let us have as many people watch the film. Okay, last question. Are there any workshops for screenwriters? Hopefully after we are done with the distribution of this film and we have time, which I will make, and then we'll definitely do a workshop, and we'll try to spend some time on writing for screen, which we really lack. We need more screenwriters. And yes, PVR, I'm PRV. I'm not stoned, but I'm super tired. So see you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you. ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ಬರೀ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲೇ ಒಂದು Q&A ಮಾಡೋಣ. ನಾನು ಈ ಸತಿ ಅದು ಅನೌನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕನ್ನಡ Q&A ಅಂತ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬರೀ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡೋಣ. ಸೊ ಈ ಸತಿ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ದಿರೋರೆಲ್ಲ ಬಂದಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ದು. See you, bye, and please spread the word. Thank you.